Hello everyone. So now we are going to discuss the concept approaches to entrepreneurship. Approaches to entrepreneurship. So to understand the nature of entrepreneurship and better recognizing its importance, it is important to consider some of its theory development. So one way to examine these theories is within a schools of thought approach. Okay, so one way to examine these theories is within a schools of thought approach. This approach divides the entrepreneurship into specific activities. So these activities may be within a macro view or a micro view. Clear students? To understand the nature of entrepreneurship and better recognizing the importance of entrepreneurship, it is important to consider its theory development. So now we are going to discuss the schools of thought approach. So one way to examine these theories is within a schools of thought approach. So this approach divides the entrepreneurship into some specific activities. The activities may be within a macro view and micro view. Okay, and see here the first one, the macro view entrepreneurship. So macro means huge. Macro view means a broad array of external factors that are beyond the control of the individual entrepreneur. Okay, so it considers, macro view of entrepreneurship considers the external factors affect entrepreneur's life. It presents a broad array of external factors such as education, physical infrastructure, culture and financing that relate to success or failure in contemporary entrepreneurial venture. Means it considers, this macro view of entrepreneurship tells us external factors influence entrepreneur's life. Their education, entrepreneur's education, physical infrastructure and culture, finance, all motivates the person to become an entrepreneur. Okay, so macro view of entrepreneurship, this macro view of entrepreneurship break down into 4 schools of entrepreneurial thought. Okay, that is the social and cultural school of thought. Social and cultural school of thought is also called environmental school of thought, financial school of thought, it is also called capital school of thought, displacement school of thought, the ecological school of entrepreneurial thought. Okay, so the macro view of entrepreneurship break down into 4 schools of entrepreneurial thought. These are the 4 schools. Listen one by one. The first one, the social and cultural school of thought, environmental school of thought. So this school deals with, the social and cultural school of thought deals with external factors and influences that affects the lifestyle of a potential entrepreneur. Okay, external factors and influences, external influences that affects the lifestyle of an entrepreneur. It focuses on institutions, values and influences of the society. For example, a strong support from family and friends may influence the desire to become an entrepreneur. Is it right or not? And the work environment will serve to promote the person's desire to pursue an entrepreneurial career. So we can call this type of person an intrapreneur. Okay, so for example, a middle level manager, here every organization has 3 levels of managers: top level manager, middle level manager and lower level manager. Okay, leave it top level manager. Top level manager may be a owner of the organization. Okay, middle level managers, lower level managers, all departmental heads, middle level managers. So a middle level manager experience his network with peers, his hard work, so motivates to become an entrepreneur. Is it right or not? So manager relations with others and his hard work, his qualities motivates the person to become an entrepreneur. So finally, the school of thought strongly said that an entrepreneur's success is directly influenced by his environment. This is social and cultural school of thought. Okay, social and cultural school of thought. What tells us social and cultural school of thought? External factors influence the lifestyle of an entrepreneur. And the second one, financial or capital school of thought. So this school of thought based on capital seeking process, search for seed and growth capital. So capital is the lifeblood of organization. To start the business, run the business and expand the business. It means in each and every stage, business organizations need capital. So this is the lifeblood of organization. This school of thought reckons that an entrepreneur can only get somewhere if he has capital, knows how to grow it and knows how to manage it. Okay, this school of thought focus mainly on how to collect capital, how to manage it in profitable way. This is financial or social, this is a capital school of thought. And the third one, displacement school of thought. Displacement. Okay, displacement school of thought. So this school of thought focus on the negative side of the group in which someone feels out of place. So this theory tells us sometimes the people who were separated from the group, means the frustrated individual, will be projected into an entrepreneurial pursuit out of his own motivation succeed. Clear? So entrepreneurial ventures to prove their friends wrong. So means I will show them type of people. Okay, so displacement school of thought, it tells us the people who were separated from the group, the frustrated individual will be projected into an entrepreneurial pursuit out of his own motivations to succeed. This is displacement. And this school of thought, displacement school of thought, okay, explain 3 major types of displacements. That is political displacement, cultural displacement and economic displacement. Political displacement, government regulations and policies that can redirect certain industries. So political government rules and regulations, policies sometimes motivate the person to become an entrepreneur. And cultural displacement, social groups excluded from professional fields, example sex, race, religion. And people, gender, their race, their religion sometimes helps to motivate the person to become an entrepreneur. Their cultural background helps the person to become an entrepreneur. And economic displacement, job loss, capital shrinkage and anything affected by economic variations of depression motivates the person to become an entrepreneur. This is displacement school of thought. Okay, it tells us people who are separated from the group, frustrated individual, will be projected to become an entrepreneur. Displacement school of thought. And the next one, the ecological school of thought, means the ecological school of entrepreneurial thought. Okay, so means, so it tells us, this school of thought tells us the changes in the environment and the relationship between human and environment leads to an entrepreneur, helps to become an entrepreneur. This new school of thought comes from the growing perception of the natural world and our relationship to it as entrepreneur. It is based on the idea that everyone is related with everything and everywhere. Okay, so this school of thought based on the fields of green economics and ecological economics. Clear? So this is ecological school of entrepreneurial thought. This school of thought comes from the growing perception of the natural world and our relationship with it as entrepreneurs. So this is macro view of entrepreneurship thought. And the next one, the micro view of entrepreneurship. So micro view of entrepreneurship focus on the individual, what a person can actually control. It opposite to their macro environment. So micro view of entrepreneurship tells us the entrepreneur has the ability to control, to direct the outcomes of each major influence. Micro view of entrepreneurship tells us the entrepreneur has the ability to control, to direct the outcomes of each major influence. He is a capable person. He can bear anything. He can deal anything in profitable way. It focuses on three schools of thought. The three schools of thought, the entrepreneurial trait school of thought. It is also called the entrepreneurial personality school of thought. Traits are nothing but personalities, qualities. The venture opportunity school of thought and the strategic formulation school of thought. Okay, the first one, the entrepreneurial school of thought. The entrepreneurial school of thought, it tells us, this school tells us particular traits of human beings helps to start ventures. Okay, so this school of thought identifies particular traits that propel people to start ventures. These include achievement need, creativity, determination, technical knowledge. All these motivates the person to become an entrepreneur. This is the entrepreneurial personality trait school of thought. Entrepreneurs have some qualities. The qualities motivates the person to become an entrepreneur. It tells us the entrepreneurial school of thought. And the next one, the venture opportunity school of thought. Venture opportunity school of thought, this is almost a hybrid micro macro school of thought. It focuses on the opportunity aspect of venture development. It tells us an entrepreneur's ability to spot, see and execute a market plan influence his success as an entrepreneur. Influence the success as an entrepreneur. So the search for ideas, development of concepts and the implementation of venture opportunities are important areas in this concept. This is venture opportunity school of thought. And the next one, the strategic formulation school of thought. It holds that an entrepreneur's ability to target unique markets with a unique strategies is the ultimate determinant of success. So this school of thought tells us good planning is important for successful venture development. Unique markets, unique people, unique products, unique resources. All these influence the person. To become an entrepreneur. All these helps to get profits, to stand in the competitive environment. So unique markets, this is it is also called mountain versus mountain gap strategy. So for unique markets, if they make a strategy, make a plan for unique markets, that is called mountain versus mountain gap strategies. Unique markets. The unique markets, door to door deliveries, e-business, franchisee, etc. These are unique markets. Next, unique people. So unique people means talented and experienced workers. Unique people. The organization, to get success, organization, they should appoint quality persons, quality workers. If they make a strategy about unique people, that is called great chef strategies. If they make a plan about unique products, that is called better wide strategies. If they make a plan about unique resources, that is called water well strategies. Okay, so unique markets, door to door deliveries, e-businesses, franchises, etc. Unique markets, variety of markets they can use to get success. And unique people, they have to appoint only qualified persons. They should select quality persons. Quality persons always helps to improve the organization. And the next one, unique products. Here unique products nothing but niche products. Okay, niche products. Okay, so if we manufacture and release a unique variety of products, then automatically the sales will increase. More sales leads to more profits. More profits helps to develop the organization from branches to branches. This is unique products. Next, unique resources. Unique resources means every organization, they should get success, they should utilize, they should adapt latest technologies. So latest technologies always helps to help the entrepreneur to get success. These strategies formulate. Means this school of thought tells us to get success, organization, they means entrepreneur, he should make a plan. If he makes a plan about unique markets, that is called mountain versus mountain strategies. He makes a plan about unique people, that is called great chef strategies. If he prepare a plan about unique products, that is called better wide strategies. If he makes a plan about unique resources, that is called water well strategies. That is called water well strategies. These are the approaches of entrepreneurship. Clear, students? And the next one, small concept, Gaggle company. Gaggles. Who are Gaggles? So Gaggles, new and small firms create the most jobs. The majority of these jobs, okay, creating companies are fast growing businesses. So David Bridge of Cognitics has named these firms Gazzles. Okay, students listen. New and small firms create most jobs. This is correct mark. So new organizations always needs workers, new workers. Okay, so that we have discussed in the importance of entrepreneur by establishing new ventures, he can provide employment opportunities. New organizations always create more jobs. And Small firms also, they can create more jobs. Okay, so because small organizations, they can't spend much amount to purchase machineries, to adapt technologies. So they generally use manpower to manufacture the products. So new organizations and small organizations generally create most jobs. Okay, so the companies gadgets nothing but okay, so new and small firms create most jobs. The majority of these job creating companies are fast growing business. Okay, by using large number of workers, they can improve the organization, they can develop the organizations. So this is the majority of new businesses and small firms, so create more jobs. So famous economist David Bridge has named these firms are gadgets, means the companies which started with low budget. Okay, then they grow rapidly. The such companies are called gadgets. Listen once again. Who are gadgets? The companies which started with low budget. Then they expand rapidly. That such companies are named as gadget, fast growing companies. And one more meaning is there to the term gazelle. Okay, one more term. If a company earns more than 20% improvement in their profits every year, more than 20% improvement in their profits, such companies are also called gazelle companies. Means this company double its revenue over a 4 years period. Here we can take best example, Apple company, Facebook company, Amazon. These are fast growing companies, gazelle companies. Initially they started with a little bit of amount in a garage. After that gradually, not gradually, rapidly they increased, they turned into a large companies. They are gazelles. Here we have used the word gazelle for fast growing companies. We have used the word gazelle. So why we have used the word gazelle? Okay, so gazelle, so this is a African animal, so like as a deer. Gazelle is a small African animal similar to a deer. So gazelle moves very fast at speed of up to 60 miles. Okay, its size very small but moves very fast. So fast growing companies are called gazelle companies. Initially they starts with a little bit of amount, but rapidly they change into a large companies. Such companies are gazelle companies. This is African deer, African animal, similar to a deer. It looks small but moves fast. It looks small like as a fox and a dog, but moves fast than cheetah. That is gazelle. Fast growing companies are called gazelle companies. Clear, students?